We are in Maryland on another trip. We are here with the Mason-Dixon Outdoor Writers Association, and we're here doing some interviews and bringing you some information about some great things in Maryland, the Hagerstown area, Clear Springs, a great place to visit, great place to bring the family, as you'll see right now when we go out in the open. Out in the Open is brought to you by statewide abstract and national abstract companies. For 35 years, the Pocono choice when you need a real estate title research company. By Buck Hill Firearms, the Northeast's #1 online retailer of firearms. By Marie Soap, a scent even deer-like. The Jug Handle Inn, great food and games in Cinnaminson. By the Carr Firearms Group, the #1 choice of personal carry, and the Tommy Gun Warehouse in Greeley, where you will find the largest retail showroom in the Northeast for all kinds of new and used firearms. Welcome to this edition of Out in the Open. I'm Alex Zidock.
And I'm JoAnne Zidock. Again, talk about education. There are so many good things on this, and it's about fun things. Like, you were going to watch this, all of it.
Yeah,
it's
family
very,
things,
very
you know, if you want to come down here and you want to, you know, in the fall do some hunting, or if you want to fish, great fishing down here.
Right.
Potomac River was productive for some
Yes.
of our people down here. We came down here to do some fishing. A lot of great things going on. And as I said, family.
Right.
You know, because you can come here, you can bring the family, and there's something for everyone.
Right.
Lots of parks.
And lots of places to walk and stop and look, but to learn is really wonderful. And they've got places to stay that are great.
Oh, like
I
you
love
could
it.
stay in a lock house if you want to.
If you want to,
Right on
exactly.
the canal. You could do that. And, you know, there are a couple of those available. So there's a lot of things that are available that you can do down here in the, I guess it's Western Maryland area.
Right.
Right outside of Hagerstown and in Hagerstown. Clear Springs and that whole area. It's just we've had a lot of fun.
A lot of fun
Yeah,
here.
talked
That's
to a lot
for
of
sure.
interesting people.
Oh, for sure.
Don't go away, we'll be. You're right back. Fishermen use anise oil to mask human scent on lures and bait, and deer don't object to anise either. You can use anise-infused soap every day. Get the all-natural, handcrafted sports bar with oil of anise from Marie Soap. Go to mariesoap.com. Order today.
Experience the best at the Jug Handle Inn. Great food, great people, great experiences. Try the Jug's over-the-top tots, or indulge and enjoy in our monster burgers, or our famous award-winning Jug wings. Plus, nachos, fries, and fresh salads. Do the Jug for lunch, dinner, or a late-night snack. Just relax, unwind, and let our friendly Jug team take care of you. Come on by the Jug Handle Inn, where great food and good times meet. We are talking with Joe Byers, and he's the Executive Director of the Mason-Dixon Outdoor Writers Association. Also, he's the editor of bowhunting.net. So you go online, and you've seen Joe on the show before. We talked about turkey hunting not too long ago. Joe, great time to be down here in Maryland. We're having a great time at this conference and doing a lot of different kinds of things. And you know, the interesting thing is that some of the people that have seen our shows from Maryland have said, oh, you know, I've been there, I've come down there, I've done that area of Western Maryland, Washington County, Hagerstown. There's so much happening, you know, in this area. So it's a delight to be down here and enjoying this, beside all the outdoor stuff we do.
Yeah, there's a big wildlife management area that's right, I mean, within walking distance of here, a nice lake to fish in. You have the Potomac River, C&O Canal. There's a lot to do in Washington County.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and some of our people, as I said, do come down here. Now, we've experienced a couple different kinds of things. You're a member of this hunt club that
Yes.
we're at now. It's called
Polecat Hollow Hunt Club, yeah.
Polecat Hollow Hunt Club. How many members do you have?
28.
28 members. So it's a relatively medium size.
It's a small number, but we're actually own the property. We own 1,200 acres. So when you chop, we all own about 40 acres, although, you know, we don't have boundaries and so forth.
Sure,
but
sure.
Yeah, that's how
So
that
you become a
works.
member of the club, you become a
Yeah,
landowner.
yeah, you have to buy in,
You have
yes,
to buy in. So, but that's great because you control everything. You've got all your hunting right here if you
Yes.
want to do it.
Yes.
And you got a great clubhouse.
Great clubhouse, and it's nice. They're nice enough to host us here and not, give us the weekend. That's very special to have people like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So if people want to come down here, Joe, and they want to see a little bit more of what's going on here, and I know there's a website. Hagerstown has a website that you can come down, Washington County. So, Joe, where do they want to go if they want to get more information about the area?
Visit Hagerstown. They have a lot of information, and you'll find there's lots of things to do here in Washington County. A lot of great food. We have, I think, the best crab house, or maybe houses in the state of Maryland here in Hagerstown. So, there's lots to do and lots to eat, and just a great place to have fun.
Thank you very much for having us. We enjoy it. We're talking with Jushua Tabora, and he's a fur bearer biologist with the state of Maryland. And Joshua, there's something new afoot in hunting and people who want to climb trees.
Yeah, Alex. I started hunting out of a tree saddle last year, and it's kind of allowed me to change the way I do things and access new areas or climb different trees than I was able to before.
Okay, so now you have this all in a backpack on your pack, right?
Right.
So,
yeah.
So now, beside this, you would carry your bow, or you would carry your crossbow, or
That's
your
right.
rifle, whatever
That's right.
else you were going to hunt with, right? Mm-hmm. So you can go into the woods, and you can actually pick a tree, any tree. It doesn't have to be. It's pretty much easy to do on any tree, right?
Yes, I think like a climbing stand, like you'd need like a tall, straight tree, and that's certainly helpful. But you can get into like a much smaller tree, much smaller diameter, or even a tree that has like a fair bit of lean to it, as long as you're using the correct and safe climbing practices.
Okay, so this doesn't damage the tree at all. You know what you're doing,
no,
so you're not screwing anything into the tree or doing anything else.
That's
so
correct.
This allows you to find a nice straight tree. Once you get into the woods, you can set this up.
Right.
This thing, how long does it take to set it up? If you want to go up, we'll say 30 feet.
So I could
easy climb.
I could get up to like hunting height, which for me is about like a little over 20 feet.
Okay.
And just over 20 minutes, I think.
Okay.
And be set up and ready to hunt. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is this also something that you could set the basics up the day before? You could set the climbing up the day before and then just come and put your harness up, right?
Certainly, yeah. You could come and set your sticks the day before and then get into the tree. That's
All right,
right.
so you call them sticks, you're using climbing sticks.
Yes, climbing sticks.
Okay, so these climbing sticks, then you lash them to the tree, in the bottom of the tree. You lash them, and as you move up, you continue to move up. Is that right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, we all have climbed trees, and some of us have even had the unfortunate thing of falling out of trees, and some of us didn't get hurt. But people get hurt falling out of trees, so you've got to be careful. This maneuver that you're doing, you've got to be careful every step of the way. You've got to make sure you're secure.
Right. So actually, one of my favorite things about hunting out of a saddle is that the saddle is attaching you to the tree. So it's essentially functioning as like a safety harness as well. And as long as you're using safe practices and you have 3 points of contact at all times, it's
3 points of contact. That's important.
3 points of contact, very important.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes more, but as long as you're using safe practices, like saddles are very safe.
So once you get up into the tree, you have a lot of mobility, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
Because you can swing, in your saddle. Is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. So I think you can have like almost 360 degrees of visibility and mobility around the tree, just depending on the tree and the way that you're set up. Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes it easy. And you've got a lot of freedom then up there, because if you're shooting with a bow, of course, you can move this way.
Yes, yeah,
Crossbow,
absolutely.
gun, anything, you can kind of swing, and you can be you could do it slowly and quietly, right?
Yeah, for sure. Just the way that you're tied directly into the tree, so you can kind of swing around the tree, but it's not like something where you're sitting with your back to the tree, and maybe you have only 200 degrees or 180 degrees of visibility. Like you can see all the way around the tree.
So it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So it's easy.
In some ways, yes. Yeah.
It's easier, and as you said, it's really safe because you're kind of sitting in that saddle.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, you're lashed into the tree. So like as long as you're tied in through like either like your lineman's belt or like your tree tether, which I'll demonstrate here in a bit. Yeah. You're very safe.
All right, so tell me about a fur bear biologist in the state of Maryland. What do you do?
So I research, manage, and kind of do public outreach for 14 different species of game mammal that produce like a valuable fur or supported trapping season. So those would be animals like raccoons, red fox, gray fox, coyotes, beavers, and other animals like that.
We get a lot of people from Pennsylvania drop down into this part of Maryland and take part in all of the seasons, the hunting and fishing and all of that. So it's important for people in that central part of Pennsylvania, South Central, who come here. You get a lot of visitors from other states?
We definitely do, and there's a lot of public land opportunity for hunting in Maryland. I think the way that our seasons and bag limits are structured are very generous. So it's definitely something that helps kind of support, like the Department of Natural Resources is, like Pennsylvania hunters are very important to what we do, and they're an important constituent group.
What do you think about this? You think you might like to get into something like this at some point?
Pretty cool, yeah.
Now, you just graduated college, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, now what are you doing? Where are you working?
Work in Salisbury as a financial planning analyst.
Oh, fantastic. And you do a lot of outdoor stuff? I know your parents do.
Yeah, I love to hunt and fish.
You love to hunt and fish, huh? You catch any big fish recently?
Some flounder, but
some
nothing
flounder
to write home about, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, let's get this other shot off, and we're using one of Doyle's guns here.
Yeah, it's called a Southern Mountain Rifle, which was probably made in the Appalachian region of Pennsylvania, which would be considered the Southern Mountain. It's of the Pennsylvania rifle design, long rifle, drop at the comb. This would be like a very poor man's rifle. In fact, what I did, once he gets done taking the shot, I put a patch box on this,
on the side, right?
Because it just dressed it up. They wouldn't necessarily, what they would have probably had was a hole drilled in the stock that they carried grease in.
Right.
That's what they
Goose grease. We need bear grease. Goose grease.
Bear grease.
Bear grease. That's what we need. All right, Travis.
Okay, that's
let's get this shot and see what happens.
Nope.
Real estate law is our business and need an abstract title search company near Stroudsburg, Mount Pocono, Pocono Lake, Lake Naomi, Blakesley. Call National Abstract at 570-646-4110 for offices near Scranton, Clark Summit, Lake Wallenpaupack, Lords Valley. And for general information, call 570-226-6229. For 35 years helping people with real estate, we're a Pocono experience you can't afford. Call 570-226-6229.
Buck Hill Firearms, located at 115 Route 390 in Cresco, Pennsylvania. You never have to make an appointment. We're open 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. Buck Hill Firearms is a full-service sports shop including hunting and fishing equipment and live bait. Buck Hill Firearms NRA certified instructors are here to help you choose the gun that's right for you. Buck Hill Firearms, 115 Route 390 at the corner of Route 390 and 940 in Cresco, Pennsylvania. Check out our website at buckhillfirearms.com.
To translate a vision into reality is true innovation. At Car Arms, we not only manufacture some of the most advanced firearms on the market, we build assurance and reliability through a solid history of quality. We pride ourselves on offering concealable, performance-driven firearm systems that exceed expectations time and time again. Car Arms, American ingenuity at its finest.
We are talking with Dan Spedden, and he is Executive Director of the Washington County Hagerstown Visitors and Convention Bureau. Did I get it all right?
It's yes, very close. The Hagerstown, Washington County Convention and Visitors Bureau, and believe me, I've had a lot of practice with that. Yes.
Tell me, Dan, what's new? We've been here, we were here about it last year, and there's some new things happening.
Yeah, we always brag up our state and national parks, which are our biggest attractions and our most beautiful areas. But this year, we have a brand new urban ballpark right in the middle of the city of Hagerstown. It's America's newest and most innovative ballpark. It's home of the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. The Flying Boxcar is a shout out to the city's aviation history. And they're an expansion franchise in the Atlantic League of Professional Baseball.
My name is David Blankstone, General Manager of the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. We are here at Meredith Park in downtown Hagerstown. Meredith Park opened officially on May 4th this year, so this is our inaugural season in this amazing new $90 million minor league ballpark, 4,000 seat stadium. We are members of the Atlantic League of Professional Baseball. We're an independent league team. The name Flying Boxcars comes from an aviation, has an aviation background. So the Flying Boxcar was a military cargo plane that was manufactured here in Hagerstown at the Fairchild plant back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So we've had a lot of success with the name and the logo, and we're just proud to be in this new ballpark and proud to give something back to the community, and the response from the community has been overwhelmingly positive, so it's been a great experience so far. Yeah, more information, visit our website at flyingboxcars.com.
So you get a lot of visitors coming down from Pennsylvania to to see the games?
Pennsylvania, West Virginia. We had a contest 2 weeks ago. Texas, Colorado, and Oregon were represented, but the fan who traveled the furthest was on holiday from Germany, so he won the prize basket.
So he won the prize. How are they doing, by the way?
We have everything but a really good team. It's an expansive franchise. They don't have a lot to build on. They don't have a foundation yet. So they're eking out a couple victories a week, keeping us all interested. We're at 32 home games, and this weekend we'll top 100,000 visits.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really great. People come down here because it's such a unique area as far as tourism. I mean, you've got a little bit of everything. You've got history.
Right.
You've got some great canals. You've got some, great parks. If you were to say to someone, a short conversation, hey, you want to come down? This is what you're going to see.
Oh my gosh. We got portions of 5 national parks, 8 state parks, 22 museums and historic sites. We've got countless boat ramps on the Potomac River. We've got public hunting grounds. We've got some of the most spectacular vistas on the East Coast on our hiking trails. We're home to the C&O Canal, National Historic Park. The Appalachian Trail passes straight through our county, and we host very, very many youth sports tournaments a year, which is a really emerging market for us.
That's fantastic. And I'm sure you have a website so people can get in touch with you and find out all these glorious things.
Yes, absolutely. Visit Hagerstown.com. It's more memorable than our corporate name. Just remember that. Visit Hagerstown.com.
See, I can remember that. Visit Hagerstown.com. And we can get that going. Hey, that's great. Thank you so much for talking to us. Appreciate it. And
My pleasure.
I know we talked to a lot of people in Pennsylvania, and they do like to come down, Central Pennsylvania, it's an easy shot right down, and wasn't difficult for us coming from the Poconos either.
We're less than 80 miles and less than 90 minutes from Harrisburg.
It's easy to remember.
Yes, come on down.
Yeah,
yes.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you. Hey folks, we're talking with Matthew Scales, and he is the Seafood Marketing Director with the Maryland Department of Agriculture. And it's a big job now that we've got some catfish in our tributaries.
That's right, Alex. And it's not just any catfish, it's blue catfish. And they're a different type of catfish. So we have fennel catfish in the Chesapeake Bay and its tributaries, where those are more bottom feeders and they're a little bit muddier taste, whereas wild-caught blue catfish are a different type of meat, different type of species, introduced in 1970s in the
Is that something you inherited from Pennsylvania and rivers in the middle of the country, blue catfish? Is that where they came from?
No, so they were introduced in the 1970s in the James River in Virginia as a trophy fish.
Oh, wow. Oh, so they were actually brought in.
They were brought in by Virginia.
They were brought in by Virginia.
We have Virginia to thank for the problem.
Thank you. So now, but they were, I understand they were in the rivers in Pennsylvania for a long time.
Correct, yeah, the Ohio River Basin.
Yeah, out near Pittsburgh, they have blue catfish.
That's right, so the Mississippi River, the Ohio River Basin, and the Rio de Grande River, that's where they're native.
Okay.
But they were brought into the James River, which is a tributary in the bay.
And now they've become an invasive species.
That's correct. So down there in the James River, 1970s in Virginia, now they've swam up and are just out of control all throughout the bay. Here we are in 2024.
And I understand, I think they're even up in the Susquehanna River, do you know?
That's correct. Actually, I live in Harford County, and Susquehanna is in my county, and they are in there along with the snakeheads as well. That's another species that is known as an invasive species.
We kind of got some people to eat snakeheads, and some people say that they're pretty good. I have yet to eat a snakehead. I haven't had the opportunity yet, but I'm willing to try it.
I encourage you to.
JoAnne and I eat catfish. I mean,
Okay.
We like catfish. We just don't like farm-raised catfish. We like caught catfish that we either catch ourselves or, we eat it, and
Right.
it's fine. What makes the blue catfish different than other catfish? Because people say, you eat catfish, it's like a muddy fish. It's a bottom feeder.
So it does eat things on the bottom, but it also is eating things up top too. So it's eating all the things that we love in Maryland, specifically crabs. It's eating our blue crabs. It's eating our oysters. So you think about us, the blue catfish is eating that. It's getting that flavor from crabs, from oysters. It's also eating rockfish, striped bass, and it's even eating ducks. There was a waterman who cut one open and found a whole mallard inside one.
Wow.
These things can get ginormous.
They can get to be like 100 pounds.
Oh yeah, easily. And there's no predator in the bay. We are the predator. We have to reel them in and get them so that we can get chefs to cook them up and make them look delicious.
Now, like a lot of species of fish, it's recommended that you eat the smaller fish, and that's, I guess, what people should eat, is basically the smaller fish?
That's right, yeah. Maryland Department of Environment, they have their fish advisory where they have, it's a certain inches, I believe it's 20 or 30 inches, but if you look it up, Maryland Department of Environment's fish advisory chart, and they recommend what inches, they don't go by pounds, they go by inches.
Yeah, and that's typical of many of the fish in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and a lot of other places, that advisory. Blue catfish are a little bit different. They, as you said, eat a lot of the fish and the crustaceans and things that we normally like. And as you said, if there's no predator, it's only the fishermen that can really harvest them.
That's right.
So they develop a department, your department, and what exactly do you do? I mean, do you go out and talk to chefs, or do you?
Yeah, so my role, I work with a lot more commercial watermen. So Department of Ag, that's my side. Then Department of Natural Resources work with recreational fishermen. But really together, DNR and MDA, we work collaboratively on a lot of things, doing focus groups about blue catfish, asking recreational and commercial watermen, why are you catching them, or why are you not catching blue catfish? It's such a kind of a new thing, even though they've been here since the 70s. We've just started really amplifying it in the past few years. So we really want to, look, it's a 70% biomass in the bay.
Wow.
We're not going to get rid of them. Let's just face it, right? But we can get it to a good level where we can manage them. So it's really getting a good baseline, and that's what we're trying to do between MDE, DNR, and MDA.
It's a good thing, kind of, because I know even up in Pennsylvania, and particularly Susquehanna watershed in the Harrisburg area, it used to be a great bass fishery, and now it's a catfish, basically, fishery. And, people want to come out, they want to catch these big catfish. And it's the same thing here in Maryland, I'm sure.
That's right.
People want to come out and they want to have this fight of the big catfish. And I guess the larger catfish people release, they keep the ones that they can eat,
Right.
The smaller ones. And are people actually, are commercial fishermen selling these to retail outlets and to restaurants?
Yeah, so restaurants and retailers are serving them. So if you go on marylandsbest.net, you can see a list of restaurants, not just in Maryland, but in the region, and even, as far as California. We're trying to get the word spread all throughout the country, and even internationally. We're looking at Singapore to get the blue catfish, because over there they'll eat the whole fish, and they'll eat in, their style of cooking is way different than us.
Wow.
So we're looking at that from an international standpoint.
You guys are serious about this.
Oh, we're trying. Governor Moore has said, we got to eat our way out of this problem. So we're really trying to do our best to.
That's one way of looking at it.
That's right. But yeah, we've worked with a lot of great chefs in Maryland and around the region. And then if you go to your Harris Teeter, your Wegmans, even in Pennsylvania, you can find the wild-caught blue catfish.
Well, and wild-caught is the secret, the wild-caught catfish.
Yeah.
And you'll notice a difference. I mean, if you've eaten catfish in the South even, some of that catfish is farm raised, but the wild caught catfish, there's a big difference. And if you know the difference, then you can certainly enjoy the fish. We smoke a lot of fish, and they're good smoke too, I understand.
Yeah, and there's one great recipe on our website that Chesapeake Chef Services, they actually, it's a smoked fish dip, where instead of crab dip or anything else, smoke the fish and make it into a dip. And I look at the blue catfish as a value fish too. You go to a Wegmans or a Giant, you see that fish compared to striped bass, you're going to get a great price per pound versus striped bass.
All you got to do is get people to try it. That's the hard part.
Dive in and try it. Yeah.
You got a website. You said you had a recipe on the website.
Yep. If you go to marylandsbest.net.
marylandsbest.net. We're going to come up with some recipes for blue catfish.
Yep, recipes. We even have a video of Governor Moore and Secretary Addicks, my big boss, making blue catfish tacos.
Oh, wow. So, that sounds like a good video.
Oh, yeah, it's a 6-minute video. They walk you through the process. I definitely encourage you guys to check it out.
Well, hey, you heard it. It tastes a lot like rockfish and some other fish. It's supposed to be a white flaky meat, right?
White flaky meat.
White flaky meat, and it could be really good. We could add that to our list of recipes, and that'll be great. Hey, I appreciate you talking to us. It's really super, and JoAnne, we gotta try some of these blue catfish. We'll find them someplace, and we'll do it. Right? Right. That's right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Matthew.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you. We got to do a lot of good things, I mean,
I know. I like it here, I just, it's refreshing. I like the trees because you just stay just cool enough, even though it's a very warm day, you stay just cool enough. I like that.
Yeah, and this part of Maryland is a lot like the Poconos. I mean, it's a good, it's nice country,
and
it's rural, it's a little mountainous,
and
I
like that.
Whatever. And as I said, you can do what you want. You can go in the city and do, all of those kinds of things in Hagerstown, and the museums, the parks. They got so many parks right inside the city limits.
That's for sure.
It makes it a great place to visit. And you want to get out in a rural area like we are now at the Polecat Hunting Club, doing some stuff out
places.
here. Yeah, nice out here, isn't it?
It's very nice. I like it.
We're in the woods.
I know. I like that.
And we're outside.
We're outside.
And we're traveling.
We're out in the open.
Exactly. We're doing all those things, right?
Right.
Yeah, we are.
Out in the open.
As you said before.
Out in the open.
Absolutely.